I was very scared, maybe is the right word, to release a song about something so real. And yeah, you see it in other times, like they talk about like mental depression and stuff, but I truly feel it's like a craft to be able to relay these type of meanings and lyrics with a banger. Now that I see like, you know, millions of streams and people hitting me up all the time, it's like, we believe in what you're talking about. And that was what I was always like sort of worried about, in a sense. Will it catch on? Do they just want to hear about cars and stuff like that? Now that I know who I am is who they want to connect with, watch out. When I first wrote Astronaut in the Ocean, it was in my car. And I was just driving around, going from like appointment to appointment from work. I hit up Jay, my manager, and I'm like, yo, I've got this dope title. It's either going to be an album or a song, but I know this song is going to be fire. So I was just like, what you know about? And then I just knew it clicked from there. I always have the mind frame of every song I do as a hit, because that's just how I am. Like, I want to be positive about everything. But for like Astronaut, I think like once I started really getting like feedback from people that I never knew of, and just the messages in general, I knew it was a hit then, because if it's changing people's lives or it's helping other people out, then basically it's doing something for everyone. I don't really go off numbers or anything like that.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze.
With what you know about rolling down in the deep, that part, like a lot of people were hitting me up, you know, messaging me like, hey, did you refer to Adele on that? Like, was that an influence for you? It wasn't. It was more about like me saying, where have you been? Why have you been in the deep like me? How have we related in that depression, that mental side of being down in the rough in life?
When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Hey, an astronaut should be in space, but it, you know, I'm saying he's in the ocean. It basically meant to me, like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm close, but like, I've got the suit on, I'm just not in the right location. That's what it meant to me.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'ma play all for fun.
People looked at me like as nothing, in a sense. Like, and maybe it was in reference to girls as well. Like, sometimes I feel like I've been played, in a sense, back in the day. And it was just like me saying, like, I will never let like a girl faze me. No matter like what status she is or who they are. Like, I know who I am now. And basically from that, I know my beliefs and I'm strong with it.
Y'all don't really know my mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought. No flow, rain wasn't pouring down. See, that pain was all around. See, my mode was kind of lounge.
With my mental, I always was like lost. I'd go in like phases of like just chilling at home for like 3 or 4 weeks, writing music and not seeing anyone. That was my mental. That's how Astronaut came about, with, you know, feeling down in the deep. When I talk about there being a drought and like my mode was lounged and pain around, like a lot of it was more like internal, whether it be like self-esteem. I was like feeling low on myself and how I looked and my image and who I was, like on an internal and also like on an external as well. I have no idea of my identity. Really, that's the whole point of the visual of the song, me finding my identity, because I had no idea what I wanted in life. Like, obviously I knew I wanted to do music, but I didn't know who I was in life.
Didn't know which way to turn. Flow was cool, but I still felt burnt. Energy up, you can feel my surge. I'ma kill everything like this purge. Ay.
You understand life is out there. The sun goes up, the moon comes up, your days keep the same. This was like the flick of the switch in the song where it's like, okay, it's on me to like make the change. It's on me to really sort of say, okay, let's kill it. Let's murder the game type thing. I always like listened to a lot of like critics or people saying I'd never make it, whatever. And I took it very serious. And then I kind of like just said to myself one day, just make music. Just do you, make a banger, make it serious and make it what it's supposed to be about and see where it goes.
Let's just get this straight for a second. I'ma work, even if I don't get paid for progression. I'ma get it. Everything that I do is electric. I'ma keep it in motion, keep it moving like kinetic. Ay.
Firstly, I changed tone and I changed style in that one specific part. So I'm like, let's just get this straight for a second. I'ma work. And it's like, I slow it down to really let the lyrics like sink into your head that even if I don't get paid like for progression, I'm gonna still do my thing. Like at that point, I was investing money into me. So money is nothing if it's your dream or your passion. That's how it should be. So when I say I'm gonna keep it moving, like I'm gonna keep this going like electric and kinetic, it's like me saying like, no matter the money, no matter the status, no matter the numbers, no matter what I get in, I'm gonna go hard and I'm just gonna keep like being electrified. Like I'm my energy, not money or anything like that.
Put this shit in a frame, better know I don't blame everything that I say. Man, I see you deflate, let me elevate this in a prank. Have you walking on the plane, la 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 la.
The whole hip hop scene was going through that stage of like, a lot of people were complaining about certain types of raps or maybe things not being spoken about in like real life scenarios. And it was just like, hey, we're talking about girls, jewelry, whatever. This was like me saying, I'm here to talk about like the real stuff. And this is why I feel like the game is deflating in some parts and then I'm elevating because of that.
Both hands together, God, let me pray. I've been going right around, call that relay. Pass the baton, back in the mall, swimming in the pool. Kendrick, come on,
Why I brought up Kendrick and that specific song, Swimming Pools, was because like when I took it back to like that deflate part and like the game dropping, that's when I like first heard Kendrick. Like at sort of like that point, I'm like, finally like there's this new guy and he can like actually like spit like proper stuff. And he was very influential to me at one point, and still is. But like why I linked it up with Swimming Pools was like Swimming Pools had that sort of topic about drinking. He talks like about his uncle drinking, but also like about girls and drinks. And I thought that was a good way to like reconnect that back into sort of like a spiritual aspect, but also like about girls and stuff as well, because I talk about THOT. So I thought like it was a perfect way to match up the two.
Want a piece of this, a piece of mine, my piece of sign. Can you please read between the lines?
Don't just focus on the flow. Focus on what I'm saying. So when I say my piece of sign, a lot of like rappers, when they say piece, they talk about their gun, right? But when I say my piece, it's actually like the actual peace sign. So it was kind of like a play on words. And it was kind of like me referring to everyone just to be like, yo, once you take a close look at the lyrics, you're going to understand that when you read it, you're going to like know who I am as a person.
My rhymes inclined to break your spine. They say that I'm so fine. You could never match my grind. Please do not waste my time.
I wanted to like sort of say that you will never like catch me. You will never be on like my level. And that's how like I think. That's my mind frame. So like, when I say you'll never like match my grind, it's just because I feel like I'm working like 2 times faster, 2 times harder, and I'm hungry for it. A lot of welding videos like on TikTok as well. For some reason, like all these welders were just attracted to Astronaut in the Ocean, and it's like a sledgehammer just smashing down on like a light bulb, and it's like sparks that go everywhere. It's crazy.